so much for coming this evening. I know it's a really crazy time, and a party like this is kind of crazy, but I really appreciate all of you for showing up and showing your support for this brand new project. I'm so excited to tell you more about it. We're so lucky to have with us both founders of the Slaughter Family Arts Awards this evening. We're so lucky to have J. Max Slaughter. He's not in the ER this evening helping his patients out, and he's accompanied by his wonderful wife, Rebecca Slaughter. I'm so lucky that she's here and not tied up with 3 kids under the age of 6 at home. They are so wonderful. Without any further ado, J. Max is going to kick us off this evening, so please give a nice warm welcome for J. Max.
Hello, everybody. Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
All right, cool. Yeah, I can hear myself, so that's a good thing. It's a good sign. I'm really here just to support Joe and Joe's vision. But really quickly, we just want to introduce you guys to what the Slaughter Family Arts Awards is, and some of the key members of the team. Basically, I started a nonprofit called Music Meets Medicine about a decade ago, and we donate instruments and free teaching lessons to kids in children's hospitals. And we've been doing it for a long time, and it's so much fun, and it has such a big part of my heart. But then there's this other part of my heart that my wife, Rebecca, and I just talked about for years and years, and that was, how do we support the youth fine arts community? Because we were both supported so much growing up. I'm a singer, songwriter, TV and film is my background, and my wife is an amazing ballet dancer, danced on scholarship for just years and years and years. And we always wanted a way to give back. And we always thought, maybe in 10 years when our kids are in high school, then we'll just kind of, put this little awards thing together. And I went with my wife to see Melody and Joe's production of Chicago at Country Day a year and a half ago or so. And we were just blown away, and we were like, why wait? Let's do this now. And so we started this award ceremony, and it was going to be this little thing where we gave out a couple of awards, and only for Country Day, and then it turned into 4 different schools that were involved with 15 different awards. We gave out $7,500 in scholarship money to kids, just to really recognize and celebrate their excellence, dedication, and effort in the arts, because the arts, it doesn't get celebrated enough. In the athletics world, you almost have a performance every weekend, right? And there are many awards and scholarships and grants that go to athletics, and I love athletics in many ways, but I think it's cool to be able to center something very specifically on the arts. And with Miss Melody Hallback's help, we were able to pull off our first award ceremony this year. Miss Terry East as well, from the very beginning, has been involved in figuring out how to make this thing happen. Obviously, my wife, Rebecca, has had so many great ideas along the way. Teresa Tysinger, who is a social media marketing wizard, and just released like her 30th book. Crazy prolific. I don't know how she does it. She's so talented. She's on the team. Mr. Eric Tysinger, the man, the myth, the legend. I don't know how we're lucky enough to have a guy like this in Fort Worth, but he's such a wizard in the technical theater department that he went on tour with Hamilton, if anybody's heard of that. But he is here with us supporting this initiative. And long story short, after our first award ceremony this year, a young, talented, very focused individual came to me by the name of Joe Westerman. And he had a vision, and I thought it was crazy, and it was just so ambitious. And I was like, I don't know if we're going to be able to pull this off. But it only took a couple of days for me to realize that it wasn't me that was going to have to pull anything off, it was him. And he showed me that he could do it too, because of his drive, his laser focus, his meticulous attention to detail. This thing is going to happen whether the Slaughter Family Arts Awards sponsors it, whether Melody helps out, whether Eric helps out, whether any of us here help out. He's going to figure out a way to make it happen. So I just feel lucky to be around and supporting in any small way that I can, and that we can as a team, what he's doing. And he's going to tell you a lot more about it today. Get excited, because it's pretty awesome. Mr. Joe Westerman.
space, I see so many familiar faces. I see many people who came to support me when I was on stage as a young kid, and so many of you have continued your support through all of my teenage years leading up to this moment right now. I look around and I see those who've taken me to see shows around the Metroplex. Some of you have even taken me to see shows all over the world and around the country. I see somebody who I've had a Tony's viewing party with, who I'm in a special Forever Plaid group with forever. I see somebody who I've sung show tunes with at the top of my lungs at the wee hours of the morning all day long. And I see so many people who I had so many conversations in passing and long conversations about my love for theater and about my passion for theater and about really bringing it to Fort Worth and showing the community what wonderful artists we have right here in our midst. But when I look around the whole room, what I really see is a group of people who have gathered together during a time of uncertainty, especially for the arts, because they have a united passion to keep the arts alive and to support young artists in our community. Before I get into the logistics of the project, I really want to also take this opportunity to tell you about how this project came to be. It all started this summer when I was faced with a really difficult decision of whether I would continue to do performing arts school online, which is not an easy feat at all, or if I would take a step back from the new school in New York City this year. Ultimately, I did decide to take a gap year, but I got to reunite with my amazing mentor and high school theater teacher, Melody Hallback, and we were having a wonderful conversation on her porch, and I was reflecting on all of the amazing opportunities that she gave me during my high school years, and how in August of 2016, she came to me before class and she said, "Do you want to be my assistant director?" And I was a sophomore at the time, and I jumped at the opportunity because no one had seen that part of me, that part that I can take the wheel and that I can help direct and that I had this vision and this passion. And she saw it in just 1 year, 9 months of being with me. And it completely touched my heart. And what started in August of 2016 has turned into a lifelong friendship and mentorship that will continue forever and always. And I'm so, so lucky to be reunited with her for this project. But when I was reconnecting with her, I realized that not everybody has a Melody Hallback. Not everybody has that person that says, "Hey, you're so good at this, you want to do it with me?" And I thought, I want to give that to somebody too. So this project to create an arts education system where students of all artistic mediums, performers, directors, stage managers, designers, everything in between, choreographers, music directors, visual artists, photographers, I could go on and on and on. We have about 15 different categories that students can apply in our program. And this idea to create a program where they could all come together to collaborate on a production was born. And Melody, being the generous and giving spirit that she is, and being the wonderful guiding mentor that she has, helped me fully develop this project over a very short period of time before we brought it before the ever so generous Slaughter family, who jumped at it. And now here we are today, and the Spotlight series has been born. So I'm going to tell you a little bit more about the process. So right now we're in this really fun stage of accepting submissions online on our website from students who want to submit in all 15 categories that I've mentioned. And we have a really, really, really great roster of kids so far. We have student directors, student stage managers, wonderful performers, wonderful photographers, choreographers. I mean, they have all just come out of the woodwork and really shown us that they want this project and that they want to be a part of something like this. So anybody applying for a backstage role or for a design role basically writes us an essay telling us, about their passion for it and submits a resume, and then anybody who wants to do performance dance submits us just a small video singing a song or doing a dance, and they just submit that to us online. So we're getting close to the end of our submission period. We're supposed to close tomorrow for submissions. We think we're going to give people just a little bit more time since school has started back up, and we want to make sure that everyone who wants to be a part of it is able to hear about the project. Everybody who submits will be able to participate. It may not be in their first choice role that they say, but there will be a place for everyone. We have purposely made this project all inclusive. The rehearsal process and the logistics of this project is like so crazy, and it's so unique and different, and we've specifically designed it for this time of uncertainty. Basically, what it entails is there are 5 group rehearsals scattered starting in about 2 or 3 weeks, and then they're continuing on through June 2021, when we'll have our performances at the same plot of land that the Slaughters own out on 1187, where they hosted the awards this year. If you're not familiar with the show we're doing a chorus line, the high school edition, so it has been specifically catered to high school students for high school performers. And the show itself, the original production, was developed by this renowned choreographer who is no longer with us. His name was Michael Bennett. And basically he got a group of his friends together who were all Broadway chorus dancers, and he set on a tape recorder, and they all told their stories, and he formed the show around that. So there are 3 group numbers in the show, and then the rest of the show is individual songs and monologues based on those real life people. So it makes it perfect for this time, because that means we only have to have a couple group rehearsals, and then scattered throughout the rest of the time between now and June, we'll just have rehearsals here and there to kind of stage and teach the participants the individual monologues and songs. So another thing that I'm so proud that this project is doing, beyond offering these students an excellent resume building opportunity and creative outlet during this time in which so many of them at their schools, they're unable to participate in a lot of the arts that they're usually doing, is we also have formed amazing community partnerships with local artists and local art organizations. The prime example being the wonderful Arts Fifth Avenue, helmed by Gracie Toon. She is generously offering us her space, and we're so happy to be able to support her organization, which is such a pillar of the arts in Fort Worth and provides so much joy and love to the arts community. We're so happy to be able to support them during this time of uncertainty. And then we're also going to be partnering with local artists, many of whom have lost their primary source of income during this time, to come in and teach workshops with the students. All of this being said, I want to thank each and every one of you so much again for spending a part of your evening with us to learn more about this really unique performance and learning opportunity for the students in our area. Now more than ever, we need to encourage young artists to chase their dreams and pursue a line of work in the arts. That is the only way that we will be able to keep the arts alive in our community and on a greater scale in our country for many years to come. Thank you so much for your time. I'm now going to bring up the ever so lovely and talented Rebecca Slaughter to close us out this evening. I want to thank you so much again.
I need Joe to come home with me and just tell me these words of affirmation all the time. That's so generous. That's so wonderful. So I'm a little nervous, and I don't normally get nervous whenever I talk, but it's because I kept trying to think of what to close this with, because Joe he says it all so well, and of course my husband, he's just a theater pro, he says it all so well, but the thing that kept coming to me that I need to share with you guys is a very personal story. And I feel like it's something that resonates so much with all of us in this time that COVID is dominating. And it's about my grandfather, and he has been diagnosed with dementia, and he doesn't know who any of us are anymore. I was the first girl after he had a slew of boys, so you can imagine the special attention that I received. It was very loving, doting, always in his arms, kisses on the lips still to this day, like just dancing on his feet the way that you see in Hallmark movies, that kind of thing. And what was really interesting was at Christmas a couple years ago, he's sitting dazed on the couch. He has no idea who anyone is. He's been with his wife since he was 18. He doesn't know who she is. And a song comes on, and he is singing every single word to that song. And J-Mac, the music man, honed in on it. Mr. Music Meets Medicine man honed in on it real quick, and he got him an iPod shuffle with all of his favorite songs. And he would listen to it, and my grandmother would be at home struggling with losing the love of her life, but him still being present, but not, knowing his surroundings. And she would hear him sing, and he has this like warm, old, southern, deep, whiskey kind of voice, the one that just like makes you warm just to hear it. And he would sing so loud from the back room, but then he would sweep in and he would start dancing with her the way that they had always done. They were like the bad kids back in the day. They would go to the bars, they would dance, they had a good time together. And what I see in that now that I didn't quite see at the time, I've always understood what art means to me personally, like what music and dancing, he can tell you, my soul is not right if I'm not in the dance studio. He's like, you're on edge. You need to go to the dance studio. Like, that's just part of what makes me whole. But I didn't think about it as people in general. Like, my grandfather, he doesn't play an instrument. He never took a dance class. He's not a trained performer. But even when he doesn't remember the name of anyone, he knows the words to his favorite songs. He does not forget how to dance with his wife. He can't remember where the bathroom is, but he can two-step? Like, that's crazy, right? But it's not, because the arts are so deeply ingrained in all of us. All of us, that when everything else is gone, somehow it is so thickly embedded in the thread of our being that we can't forget it even if we tried. Like, nature cannot erase it. It's crazy. But in this time of COVID, I feel like there's a lot of noise, right? We have the social media noise, there's all the political noise, there was the whiplash of like, are they gonna go back to school? Are we gonna do plays? Are we gonna? And then there was like this, I know it's kind of a play on words, but there was kind of this spotlight moment on Joe where things were just kind of crystal clear of like, we don't have to stop providing that in a time when noise is loud. We can be the spotlight. We can shine and take a moment and acknowledge these kids who, despite what they have gone through, what COVID has forced them to go through, where things are very confusing. I can't imagine dating right now. There's just a lot of thinking that you're going to school and then not going to school. A girl can dream. But for Joe to have this idea to support these students in a time when the noise has never been louder, there's no reason to not feed something that is just ingrained in all of us, whether we've been trained to love it or not. And so why not support the kids who've spent a lot of their life learning something that who knows what they'll do with this experience. They'll make a new dance or a new song that someone else's grandfather with dementia might be singing one day. So thank you for being here. Sorry for the emotional story. It wouldn't leave my mind. I felt like I needed to say it. So thanks for listening.
That was intense. I want to take the time to do the thing that is very hard to do, and that's ask you guys for help and ask you guys for support, because this idea is an excellent idea. And all of the planning that is going into this, that's all taken care of. He's got this. Melody's got this from the theatrical perspective. Eric's got this from the technical theater perspective. But they can't do it without us. They need our financial support. If you believe in the arts, if you believe in keeping the arts alive in one of the most difficult times for the arts, support this. We accept checks, we can take credit cards, we'll take Venmo, Zelle, anything, any way that is most comfortable and easy for you guys to support, please do. This is a 501c3. These donations are tax deductible, and nobody's taking a cut of it. My wife and I, we're not getting paid. Melody, she's not getting paid. Joe, we're still negotiating. But this is all about the kids. This is all about their experience, and this is all about fulfilling Joe's vision. So please support. Thank you guys so much for coming.